You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Ekholm's back, trip to the Stanley Cup Final on the line. Let's get into it with the lead.
Wow. Excellent.
That's how you do it, folks.
That was good.
Channeling my inner Connor Brown. More on that in a second. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day, live from the Sports Closet studio, from jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger. You'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. We are also, as always, brought to you by Bet365. Download the app, use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. The Oilers are dogs tonight.
Woof, woof.
We're bringing our best. Also, we need to tighten up the wide shot a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, no Aaron today. Aaron is this is how you know it's the playoffs. We have no comment on Aaron's status.
Yeah, it's true.
He's going to be a game time decision for pre and post game tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's struggling along. He battled through it yesterday, but definitely needs some time to recover, I think is fair to say.
Yeah.
So he'll be back one day.
Yeah.
We just don't know when.
Is he available tonight? I don't know. Upper body, lower body? I don't know.
He'll skate. He'll skate and warm up.
He'll skate and warm ups. He'll take warm ups.
And then he'll become root bay hints and become a icky picky baby and not play the game for his teammates. Just kidding. Aaron's a warrior. I just wanted to get a little shot on root bay there.
And if Aaron can't go, who's going to be our Jeff Skinner?
It could be anyone.
Could be anybody. It could be absolutely anybody. We should just we should tell Reese 20 minutes before. Reese, you're hosting pre and post.
Brett used to host an Oilers show.
Yeah, Brett could
do it. Anyone could do it. Pat was on the radio once.
He was.
Pat and Brett are here, by the way.
We'd get Pat doing pre and post game, and he'd be talking about pop culture stuff and be like, "Did you hear about Justin Bieber and his wife?
Did you hear about Jennifer Lopez kissing her dancers? More and what's trending."
I don't miss those days.
It's a short for Giant Game Day edition of the program, everybody. And yes, the lead says it all. Matthias Ekholm's back. Jeff Skinner might be back. We're going to debate that because I will stand by. We still don't know.
Okay.
But the Oilers have a chance to punch their ticket to a second straight Stanley Cup Final. And I remember last year, Liam, in the Western Conference Final, you and I, in our Uber to Ross Dress for Less, we looked at each other and we said, it's kind of crazy the Oilers have made it this far. And it felt so cool that they were in the Western Conference Final. And we were saying, they're at that point, they're 4 wins away from being in, or I think they might have even won already, but they were 3 or 4 games away from being in the Cup Final. And that concept, was crazy. It was I can't believe they finally made it to this point. This year, it's a little bit different. The Western Conference Final doesn't feel unfamiliar. The Stanley Cup Final, knock on wood, should we get there, won't feel unfamiliar. But the idea that this Oilers team is on the verge of doing something that is actually pretty rare and going to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, that's crazy.
It is crazy. It's a bit of a... I don't want to say we're underappreciating it because I don't think that's true at all. I think it is just become an expectation of what people are expecting from this team and what the team also expects from themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, they've got 2 of the best players in the world and so many other guys who have elevated their game to an elite level. And they're such an interesting team because at the start of the playoffs, I'll sit here and admit, I had my doubts.
Me too.
I didn't really know what to expect. They'd obviously had a bit of a dismal regular season. Again, is probably a harsh term, but it wasn't good.
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming. That's the word. And then you come on the other day, and even Louis said, he's like, this team seemed a little bit cracked. They weren't what we all thought they were supposed to be. And then all of a sudden, they did what they said they were going to do. And it's like, we'll show up in the playoffs. And they have, after the first 2 games. And since then, they have lost twice.
The last time, it's crazy as well.
It
wasn't like they needed 7 to beat Vegas. No. And listen, this series is not over yet.
Yeah.
But if you do this one in 5, you're sitting here talking about getting 12 wins with only 2 losses under your belt. It's nuts. The last time a team went to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals out of the Western Conference?
Chicago.
No, Chicago actually never did it.
The last team, Detroit.
It was Detroit in 08-09. Before that, the Dallas Stars in 1999, and then again in 2000. So in the last 26 years in the NHL, there are only 2 teams who have gone to the Stanley Cup Final in back-to-back seasons. Out of the West, the Edmonton Oilers looking to become the third.
It's happened a lot in the East. Now, here's a question for you.
In the East, Florida now 3 in a row. Before that, Tampa back-to-back, Pittsburgh back-to-back in 16-17, and Pittsburgh back-to-back in 08-09, New Jersey in 2000-2001. So you're right, it happens more in the East.
Do you think that has anything to do with shorter travel?
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure it's much of a factor. I think, honestly, the most recent examples of the Panthers and the Lightning is just because the East is painfully mid.
And actually, ironically, those 2 teams would travel the most.
They would.
Besides themselves, obviously, they had a short first round series against each other, but they have to travel to Canada a lot for their series.
Yeah.
And that's not something to get into now, but the divisions in the East actually don't make a lot of sense when you really look at them on paper.
It doesn't understand why Florida and
Carolina, Tampa have to literally fly around the Metropolitan Division to play in their own division.
Yeah,
it's kind of silly.
All right, Pat, do we have the Connor Brown video queued up? So if you don't understand why I did a somersault out of nowhere for the lead, the Oilers shared this video the other day of Connor Brown doing, and for the podcast listeners, you're just going to have to go find the video yourself, but it's Connor Brown doing the lineup read ahead of last game. Let's give it a watch.
Make sure the intensity's high, execution's high. Let's go win this hockey game, all right? Brownie.
The show goes on! We got Kaner, Rico, Cappy, Doc, Cooley, get to the pipe.
That is awesome.
That is either a guy who is not concussed at all or is very, very concussed.
Yeah, one of the two.
It's on either end of that spectrum. It's nowhere in the middle.
It's when I saw that video, I didn't realize at first it was from last game. Then you kind of piece it together. It's like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I wonder what his injury is. We'll literally never know.
We will never know. Although Stauffer and I think Gregor as well both said they believe it's concussion protocol.
Yeah.
So
he's just in protocol.
He's in protocol, which means he's got to sit out a week.
5 days, I think it is, right?
Yeah, so he could potentially play Game 6, would play Game 7 apparently, and is 100% ready if the Oilers make the Stanley Cup Final. So
when, how many, I guess this would be probably day 5.
I think this might be the final day, yeah.
Okay. Well, so it would have been Sunday. So tomorrow is the final day.
All right, let's go to the YouTube chat, which is brought to you by our friends at Odd Company Brewing and the all-new Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. You can pick one up. Pick up a flat, one of their 2 locations in Edmonton, or go to liquorconnect.com, search up Odd Company Nation Beer, and find a liquor store near you. The people in the chat who didn't see the video love it. Nobby dropping F-bombs always makes me uncomfortable from Maynard. He does have that kind of nice dad vibe to him. So when he swears...
How about the doppelganger thing the other day?
Yeah, with the priest.
Yeah, from Sherwood Park.
Didn't we talked about this yesterday on the show?
Did we talk about the priest?
Then I said he's a priest at a Lutheran church, and Aaron said, "Is that Mormon?" And I said, "No, it's Lutheran." It was during the 10 minutes of our show that was very unhinged.
I remember.
Yeah. What else do we have going on in the chat? Narrowman Mac, back-to-back is cute. How about back-to-back-to-back? I mean, let's focus on the first one, I guess, before we go 12 months in the future again, and let's live in the moment a little bit.
Appreciate the excitement, though. It is fun to be to think about what this team could do, but we're in the now.
Well,
I cannot wait.
Speaking of in the now, also as I clicked on his profile to see if he had any confirmation on the lines, it's Ryan Rashog's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Ryan!
Yeah, happy birthday, Ryan. Friend of the show, even though he's never been on.
Respected member of the Edmonton media.
Yeah.
And I would consider him a friend. I've never met him or talked to him or been in the same room as him, but a friend nonetheless.
Yeah. Ryan Rashog, no confirmation on the lineup quite yet, but a lot of you in the YouTube chat, no way, Jeff. A lot of people saying Jeff Skinner's back in. Jeff Skinner himself in the chat saying, I'm back in. Let's do the lineup report. It's for our friends at Oodle Noodle. The game day deal is on because today is a game day. $29.97 gets you 2 signature boxes and 2 spring rolls. It's a 6 p.m. puck drop. You don't have time to be cooking. You need to get food on your way home, eat it as fast as possible, and get ready for the game.
I had Oodle Noodle last night, and I mixed it up. So my fiance had the vermicelli.
Classic.
She literally liked it. And
she literally liked it?
She really liked it. and I had the Bombay chicken, butter chicken curry.
Oh, yeah?
It was awesome. I just wanted to mix things up. I usually get the Tokyo glaze, but I wanted to dabble in something else. Obviously, I got some green onion cakes. Ate the other one before I came to work today. That was nice. It was a great evening.
Tremendous stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the lineup for tonight from the Edmonton Oilers. How they skated at morning skate. McDavid with Nuge and Perry. Draisaitl with Kane and Kapanen. I have a take on that line. Janmark with Arvidsson and Podkolzin. I have a take on that line. Henrique with Trent Frederick and Jeff Skinner. The D pairings, and this is the exciting one. Mattias Ekholm back in his normal spot. He's home, and he's playing with Evan Bouchard on the top pair. Darnell Nurse with Brett Kulak. Jake Wallman with John Klingberg. We will talk more about the forwards in a second. Liam, this is the first time we have ever seen this collection of 6 defensemen in the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. Wow, it is. You're right. That's
they have
crazy.
never played as a group of 6.
Crazy to think about. I know there was a little speculation before today of like where Ekholm would slot in. I do think that's probably the best spot for him in the sense of Brett Kulak's played his offside a lot. I know you took out Stetcher. At least Kulak's comfortable there. Putting a guy into the lineup who hasn't played in, what has it been, 6 weeks, on his offside immediately just seems like a recipe for disaster. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm very curious to see what Ekholm can bring to the team. I don't think we're going to see him play 20-plus minutes tonight. I think the most we'll see is probably about 15, and we'll probably see maybe Wallman check up there a little bit with Bouchard. We've seen that throughout the playoffs too. So, yeah, it's great to see him back.
Caleb dropped in a super chat because he's got a take. It is insane to prefer Tony Stretcher staying in rather than Jeff. I'll talk about that in a second. We also had Jaron drop in and say, do I wear 2 jerseys tonight? Conundrum. My dry combo has been almost undefeated, but I got to wear my Ek now, right? Layers, question mark. I think you keep going with the Draisaitl.
Yeah, stick with what got you here.
Yeah. Stick with what got you here. As much as the Oilers are changing up a winning lineup, doesn't mean it's going to be the best for you. So, yeah, I don't know, Jaron. Appreciate the super chat. So to the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Maybe he'll hang it up next to you or something.
Yeah,
or if you have a family member that could wear it.
Put it on the dog.
Put it on the dog. Do whatever you want. Just don't wear it.
What are your expectations for Mattias Ekholm tonight?
That he will play reliably and contribute on the penalty kill. Those are my expectations. And I think anything more than that is a bonus.
Are you at all worried about the fact they're putting him right back on the top pair?
No, I'm not. I think they'll rotate him in and out. They'll give him, they'll see how it goes the first period or so, see how he feels, and then maybe as the game goes on, they'll push it a little bit more. But no, I think that's a fine place to put him. Maybe you could have put him on the bottom pair with Klingberg and put Wallman up there instead, but I do think we'll just see Wallman play a few more minutes tonight alongside Ekholm or maybe Kulak. Kulak plays next to Bouchard, sorry.
Just Kulak and Bouchard have been so damn good together that I'm really, really nervous about breaking up something that works. But you look at every pairing and it's like, well, every pairing in order to get Mattias Ekholm in the lineup, which I do think and I'm guilty of it, and I think others probably are too. Like, we are forgetting that Mattias Ekholm next to Evan Bouchard is their best defender.
Yes, and that's the thing.
So, like, if he's truly back in at 100%, I'm not fully grasping what a massive addition this is. And maybe because goals against haven't been a problem, that's why we're doing this. And it's an absolute testament to how good Troy Stetcher played since being thrown back into the lineup. But, like, if he's fully healthy, yes, this is the right way to do it. If you're at all the slightest bit nervous about his status and how much he can give you, then I think you should have stuck him with Nurse and maybe even considered playing Nurse on his offside. That makes me nervous, but it's not like Nurse has been playing amazing hockey anyways, so who cares? I don't know, man. Or I would have... No one wants to hear this, and it's probably a little bit too hot takey. If you really wanted to go 12-6, I very, 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 very much would have preferred John Klingberg come out over Troy Stetcher. I think there would have been logic to it. Like, again, I like Klingberg, and we were talking on ONR, and you know, the idea of like, is Klingberg going to get $3.5-4 million from some team this summer? He's looked very good. I don't want this to be like a shot or a discount to what he's contributed. I think it's maybe a touch. There's a lot of fire drills when him and Wallman are on the ice. There's a lot of oh shit moments. They largely are fine. They're not a problem. I have no issue with them playing together. But the idea of putting Ekholm with Wallman on their right pair, on their correct side, or sorry, you'd have to flip Wallman over.
Yeah.
But Ekholm on his right side.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, Ekholm on his right side, Wallman flipped over. That's your third pair. You can ease him into it. You can rely on Stetcher and Nurse, and then you keep Kulak and Bouchard together. I think I would have liked that more than this. And again, it sucks you're taking out Klingberg because he's playing well. Troy Stetcher's also playing well and playing in a very key role for you. And now you're risking messing up Darnell Nurse. And I don't think you would have been running the same risk. Sorry, I keep jumping in with more, but like, I don't think you would have been running the same risk of upsetting Jake Wallman's level of play by removing Klingberg instead. If you kind of follow, like, the path of least resistance was Klingberg out, Stetcher stays with Nurse, Kulak stays with Bouchard. Your third pair is Ekholm and Wallman.
I think it depends what you're looking for. I think you have more. You can get more of Klingberg than you could out of Stetcher. The puck moving is a big thing. Yeah. I know Dallas is obviously a team that you worry about their transition play and stretch passes. Like, Klingberg is the guy that's going to be able to skate more with those guys. But I think it's also just a huge credit to Troy Stetcher that he's even in the conversation to be like, how can this guy be out of the lineup? And he's played really well, but I think ultimately we'll be fine. I think this is just coming down to we need our forwards to get the puck as often as possible. Yeah. And Klingberg's just a better passer overall than I keep wanting to call him Tony Stretcher. I know that's not his name. Troy Stetcher is. Just looking back at last game, Klingberg played 16-13 with 21 shifts. Stetcher played 13-55 with 20 shifts.
So they did rely on Klingberg more.
Yeah.
I mean, although you could read that, the gap in shifts versus the gap on time on ice, you can read that as one guy got stuck out there a couple more times.
Yeah, which I think Stetcher did get caught on one longer shift, to be honest.
I think Klingberg was out. There was the one where Nurse iced it that was bad, and they were really hemmed. There was 1-2 where Klingberg and Wallman were out there for an icing, and I was like, oh, shit.
It is interesting to see the way that the minutes were distributed last game. What do the Oilers have? 4 power plays. Bouchard played a team high of 22-41, but Nurse was just right behind him at 22-25. I think we'll see Ekholm come in somewhere around 16 minutes tonight.
Okay. A couple comments I want to get to. Tammy dropped in $10. Also, Doobie's going to swing by in a couple of minutes as well. Tammy says, we so got this tonight, boys. Oil up for Ben Cup year. Thank you for the donation to the Ben Stelter Foundation. We also got a couple of other things. Jason and Lance both said it. They were like, hey, just why are you doubting Nobby? Why are you doubting Nobby? I mean, if you want the lineup report in this whole show to just be me reading the daily face-off lines and shutting up for the next 60 minutes, maybe some of you would like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give my take. And my take is I think they're better with Stetcher in than John Klingberg.
I don't think you're even saying that Klingberg. You're not saying Klingberg's playing bad.
He's playing
You're just saying Stetcher has had such a good relationship with Nurse when they were playing. Is that the right thing to break up? Like, could you sacrifice a third pair of defensemen rather than what your second pair is doing?
Epiphany, little reminder, we signed Embers into a one-way contract, okay? And I'm happy they have him under contract.
He'll be great next season.
Ty Emberson signed for $1.3 million for 2 more seasons as well, next year and the year after that. First off, Epiphany and anyone else, one-way, 2-way contract means basically jack shit against the cap. Yeah. It means literally nothing against the cap. If you would have given him a 2-way deal worth $1.3 million at the NHL level and $800K in the minors, he's still $200,000 in buried cap it. Like, one-way, 2-way contract means nothing. It doesn't affect waivers. It doesn't affect their ability to play in the minors. It's just dollars in their pocket.
For the player. It's a benefit for the player.
And rich organizations should do absolutely nothing but give out one-way deals because it's a good way to ensure guys get signed. Okay, good. Next. What's the upside with Ty Emberson? Next season, he's 25 years old, keep in mind.
Is he that old already?
Yeah, but he's only played basically 80-some NHL games.
Let's have a look.
He takes a step forward and is an everyday defenseman for you who's an elite penalty killer at $1.3 million for 2 years. Downside, $200,000 in dead cap space. Or he's your 7th defenseman for $1.3 million, and who gives a shit?
Yeah. 106 games for Emberson, career high this year. Obviously, 76 games, 13 points, 2 goals. He's actually a strong penalty killer. He just needs to work on his puck moving, and that's the only thing for me that he needs to continue to improve on. But yeah, I think overall, blue line's looking good right now.
Ace says it means he can't be sent down.
Not true.
One-way, 2-way contract just affects dollars in players' pocket. It does not affect cap hit. It does not affect waiver eligibility. He would still have to go on waivers if they wanted to send him to the minors if it was a 2-way contract. Means nothing. You were ignoring him as a player. You literally didn't mention it until my comment. So Epiphany was positively in I get it now. You were saying like that. I thought all the caps was you being angry. You were happy. And yes, then we're on the same page, Epiphany. I am very, very happy with that. Good stuff. Happy we battled through that as a team. All right. Do we have Doobie? All right, okay. Very quickly before we get to Devon Dubnyk, I want to put a poll in the chat for the Sherwood Ford Giant question brought to you by Nation Valet Service. Never visit the dealership again for your routine car maintenance. Liam, I want you to type out this poll. Sherwood Ford the Giant, they're going to save you time. Again, they come pick up your vehicle wherever you are, home, work, office, doesn't matter. They pick it up, drive it in, do the work, drive it right back to you, and it's all free. Find out more. Sherwood Ford the Giant. When you say you want Nation Valet Service, you get a little prize back from us as well.
Hit me.
Would you have preferred 12-6 or 11-7?
Oh, my goodness. Which?
Why are you typing like a... Okay. You put that poll in the chat, and in the meantime, we're going to get out to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more about what makes them Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Whether it's residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service, they do it all, and they do it well. Former Edmonton Oilers goaltender Devon Dubnyk joins us on the program. Doobie, how you doing?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, very excited. The Edmonton Oilers can punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final tonight. And that would mean you book a flight?
That's in the cards, potentially, yes. I don't want to jinx it yet. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yes, there's a possibility.
Good. Yeah, I know. I really put you on the spot live on the air in front of the viewers asking you that. I'm sure you're like, I got to check with the wife. You have children. I'm sure it's not easy for you to just be like,
been floated around,
go
though.
to
It's
Edmonton
okay
for a week.
Yeah, it's been floated around, so it wouldn't be completely out of the air. So there's definitely a good chance.
There's whispers, there's rumblings. The Edmonton Oilers are getting Mattias Ekholm back in the lineup. That's the big storyline, or one of the big storylines heading into Game 5 of this Cup Final. They're putting him right back on the top pair with Evan Bouchard. It sounds like they're going with 12-6 versus dressing an extra defenseman as sort of a safety net, safety blanket. What do you make of that decision? Do you think it's smart to just say, you know what, Mattias Ekholm, top pair, you're good to go?
I mean, yeah, how do you not? Listen, his rusty game is as good as a lot of guys' good games. So I don't think it'll take him long. You know, usually these things only take 4 or 5 minutes to kind of get over the nerves a little bit, and you're right back to doing what you've been doing your whole life. So I think it's good. This is the way that they expected him to be if he was in. That's a really good top two pairing, and it fills out. I mean, that's a solid decor. So this is just really good news. And again, there might be some kinks, there might be some rust on there, but with Mattias Ekholm, that's going to go away really quick. And I know this is something Oilers fans have been watching day to day for a long time throughout the playoffs, and it's finally here, which obviously is some much needed good news after the unfortunate Zach Hyman news.
Well, then let's go from the D-core. We got that. Check. Let's go to the forward group now. No Zachary Martin Hyman for the Oilers. He's done for the rest of the postseason. His wrist is in a million pieces. It sucks. But when you look at this lineup, you can kind of start to be like, okay, Evander Kane could step up. Victor Arvidsson could step up. Jeff Skinner could be back in the lineup. They could probably get more out of Trent Frederick. Like, the beautiful part about this Oilers team is that it's not like they're going to be forced to point to one guy and be like, he needs to fill the Zach Hyman hole in our lineup. Mm-hmm. There's 4 or 5 guys here who could legitimately step up and play a bigger role. Who do you like to maybe elevate their game a little bit with the absence of number 18?
Yeah, I think Evander Kane's the guy, right? Because Hyman plays with that sandpaper, a little bit of everything. Obviously, the hits, the goal scoring, that's kind of everything that Evander Kane does as well. And unfortunately, Hyman's not a hole that you can plug necessarily. That's a huge loss with everything he brings to them. But, looking at the roster and how it's been in this playoffs, and I talked about that a little bit last game, is this is one, you've got a coach who's extremely good at tinkering and putting different guys together, game to game, shift to shift, period to period. But he's got the players to do it. These guys, there's so many guys on this team that can move up into scoring roles, move back down to checking roles, and they're all committed to doing what they're asked of them at that time. And so I think Evander Kane, he's been in the top 2. I think he's probably the guy that's going to be looked to more for a little more offense. Jeff Skinner is going to draw back in. I'm sure that might change after Connor Brown comes back, when he comes back, whenever that is. But it's a good chance for Skinner to get in his playoffs. Obviously, the start didn't go how he wanted, but we all know the team wasn't playing well then either. So I think for Skinner, if he can come in and just don't be a minus player, right? Don't just be a positive influence on the team. Hopefully you get a couple points, whatever that is. But he's a veteran guy, and I'm sure he's excited to get back in. There was a lot of hype around how many games he played before playoffs, and then he got one in and got scratched. So that's I'm sure he's going to be itching to get back in there. And like I said, as long as he's out there not being a liability on the wrong side of the score sheet, he's obviously a good hockey player. He's a great player. He's got a lot of offensive upside, so he can chip in that way. But again, you go up and down the lineup, it's just so cool, and it opens up those possibilities for Knoblauch to be creative with all these different line combinations, even if it's mid-game, just off a face-off, all these things that he's able to do because he has all these versatile players who are committed to playing that role when they get put in that role.
I wanted to ask you about Stuart Skinner. Obviously, he's red hot right now. It's incredible to watch, especially that first period against Dallas. He was easily their best player. Is it easier for a goalie to kind of get hot in the playoffs when you're facing the same team and over again in a round,
and playing every second night?
Yeah, and playing so often rather than the regular season?
It can be, for sure, because for exactly that, you're playing the same team and you're playing every other night. So, hey, it can go both ways. When things aren't going well, too, you're thrust back in there real quick and maybe not feeling good. But when you start feeling good against a team, it's a lot of the same looks off of the rush, a lot of the same in-zone play, the forecheck. There's tweaks here and there, but as a team, for the most part, they're playing the same way. You're seeing the same players over and over. So when you start to feel good and get hot and get comfortable, yeah, it can be beneficial to be facing the same team every other night. And that's certainly what we're seeing out of Skinner here. And it's just so exciting to see, because at first we were just asking him, hey, just give us a solid game. Just look comfortable in there. That's all we're looking for. I don't need anything crazy. Just look comfortable. Well, then he did. Then he started posting shutouts like he didn't know how to do anything else. And now the last two games, he's faced probably more high-end scoring chances than he has all playoffs. And he's been lights out, and whether you want to call it stealing the game or keeping them in the right position in the game. In game one, he held the lead. In game three, and then game four, he never let them go down when Dallas was pressuring in the first period. So he's doing all the right things at the right times right now, and he's won them 2 hockey games that maybe they didn't play their best. And so hopefully now the Oilers can get back a little bit back to where they were defending before. I think they've gotten away from it a little bit. Plus, Dallas is a good hockey team, and they had a good push. But if they can get back to defending a little tighter, then you're not leaning on Stu for all these grade A saves all the time, and you got a better chance for consistency there.
What do you make of Stu's puck handling? He seems to be touching the puck way more than I've seen him before. It might be a bit of a strategy they've started to throw in against the Dallas Stars, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't worked for Dallas. Like, I think he's good at handling the puck. He's confident. That can also get you in trouble, or if you're not feeling it, trying to overdo it. But I haven't seen that out of him. He does like to go play the puck, and that's team to team based as well. You might be seeing that more now because Dallas might be putting more pucks in that he's able to go get. Some teams, you can play against some teams and they'll literally never send a puck in that you can go get, and you'll never leave your net for the whole game. And then other teams, like this series, Dallas seems to be putting more pucks to where he can get it. I don't think that's a strategy, because if he is moving the puck well, it really just kills your forecheck, and it kills any offensive zone time you have to create a forecheck. So I don't think anybody would do that on purpose, unless it's like, I don't even want to name guys, but Luongo wasn't the best, or like Patrick Wild feed you a couple freebies. I don't think Stu is at that point. I think he handles it enough just fine that they're not doing that on purpose.
Well, and I think the other thing too, and I know this will become a conversation if it were to go this way, but like, if Stuart Skinner were to make a mistake and a goal gets scored, there's going to be a whole big portion of this fan base that very quickly forgets the 25 really, really good and effective plays he's made with the puck so far. So I do think you also have to be prepared for that, right? Like, if he is going to be a, call it volume puck handler, where he's out there every second shift, every 3-4 minutes, he's making a good play and helping the breakout get going, you almost have to, in a way, like, live with the odd mistake. Like with Mike Smith, everyone was always fine with forgiving Mike Smith because he had the reputation of being like a career great puck handler. It's like, once every couple of months, he's going to fuck it up. But like with Stu, I think it's important to remember that. Like, he's now shown for the last 2.5 playoff rounds, he can be a very, very good puck handler. if one mistake were to happen, you don't want him to like go back into his shell and be like, well, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, no, you don't want that. At the same time, you want that mistake to be like we had to spend 2 minutes in our zone and finally got it out and weathered the storm, not a tap in the back of the net mistake, because those ones are tougher to forgive.
All right, where else? Oh, I wanted to talk Ottinger, because you said you had some numbers on where the Oilers might be beating him or have been beating him.
Yeah, I mean, before the series, it seemed like the best place to go get Ottinger was kind of a low block, a low glove, but they're kind of cooking his glove right now. Or just cooking him in general. It seems like they've just been able to find some major holes.
Yeah, and it's tough because you almost have to go through all of the goals, because when it's just entering the net at a certain point, and he has been beaten on some straight shots, which his glove is usually pretty good. But it's like Draisaitl's ridiculous one-timer from the bottom of the circle goes down as a glove save, but it's like, did it beat him past the glove or just beat him because he didn't get there? But yeah, I mean, trends are always good to look at that way. I think. The game's so fast and it's so hard, and these players practice and they have their shots that they like to make. I don't think there's really a ton of like, I'm going to go high glove here, unless the guy has a breakaway or is like wide open coming down the wing and has that like thought process. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing to have. But again, it's just, I don't think that you can ask players, maybe they're wrong. I don't think it's something that's like, I'm only going to shoot at his glove. I think it's different if it's low or high. Like if a guy's popping out rebounds all the time on bad angles, having that strategy of throwing at his feet all the time is definitely something, or bad angles up high or things like that. But if they can think that quickly when you got a guy slashing you in the arm or something to shoot glove instead of your regular spot, then keep going there. But I think these guys are mostly kind of have their spots, and again, it's where their bodies are, where they're positioned, where they're even able to shoot in the first place.
There are certain things that can happen in a hockey game that I think, us in the media, the broadcasters can maybe grab onto a little bit too hard. And we had Pat Maroon on yesterday, and you talked to him about like the mood in the locker room in between periods and how much that does or doesn't affect a team. But like in Game 3, Dallas kills the Oilers in the second period. They get a goal. It's a 1-goal game. And then Connor McDavid scores with 20 seconds left. And it's like, from Dallas's perspective, you just played so well and you didn't make up any ground. And I even look at the first period in Game 4 now, and it's like Dallas throws everything at Stuart Skinner. They are the better team by a mile. And they have to sit in the room and be like, how the hell are we down 1-0 after playing that well? What would be the mood in that? Like, is that a legitimate thing where like getting teams at the end of periods or when Dallas plays well but they're still losing, like could that affect their psyche a little bit, or is that something we just maybe make too big of a deal of?
No, it definitely can, especially those late goals, because it can change an entire period. Like even if it's a 1-goal game, like if Dallas is winning by a goal and they're dominating, and then somebody scores to tie the game with 15 seconds left in the period, it all feels like a waste of time. And again, these are things that you have to deal with and have to get through as professionals, and that's what these guys do. But at the end of the day, like Dallas feels like they're right there, and then with 30 seconds left in the period, it's 3-1, and they feel like they're working so hard to get one. Now it's all they worked, they couldn't get it. Now they're down 2, and then that can change. And again, it's whether they deal with it properly or not really affects how it goes. But it's a emotional human side of it that you're going to feel down when you go in there, and then you have to be able to rally as a group, and the leaders got to step up and just try to keep that energy level up. But it's a lot harder to do when something like that happens right at the end of a period.
You're going to be on pre and post game tonight?
That's the plan. Yep.
Will Aaron be available? Who knows? He's a game time decision. We're seeing how the day treats him. But anyways, Doobie will be on pre and post. We got a new episode of Ask Dubnyk out. It dropped yesterday as well. So if you're looking for something to fill up your afternoons, a new episode of Ask Doobie. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts from. And we won't give the whole story, but you told a great Nikolai Habibulin story on the pod.
It's about ping pong balls.
Ping pong and balls. Yes, correct.
Potentially.
All right, Doobie. Hopefully, we won't put any pressure on you. Hopefully we see you in Edmonton next week. Oilers got to win tonight to get her done. Thanks for popping on.
All right, thanks, guys.
There you go. Devon Dubnyk. Ask Doobie. Pre- and post-game shows. Oh, Doobie's still on. Now Doobie's off. I
Spooked
got an email about our Ninja Crispy giveaway.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, well. All right. Devon Dubnyk was also brought to you by Litco Law. He appears on the Star Mechanical guest line, but he's also brought to you by Litco Law. Litco Law plays for Team U. They're Alberta-rooted, Edmonton proud, and when it comes to fighting for everyday folks, they don't back down ever. When insurance companies play dirty, they drop the gloves. If you've been injured and you want to fight for your right to fair compensation, or you've been denied your long-term disability benefits, contact Litco Law. Stop by their office right here in town or visit them online at litcolaw.com. Lawyers you'll love, they do exist at Litco Law. Again, I think there's something, not to do my whole key to victory right now. I think there's something to the Oilers having another one of those periods where, like, you need to crush Dallas's spirit in some way. And there's multiple ways to do that, I think. You can grab an early lead and then just rope a dope. But, like, if Edmonton can get out and 2-goal lead, whatever it is, and Stuart Skinner's like, I just feel like he could get to a point tonight where Dallas just throws their hands up and are like, how are we going to beat this team 3 more times? How are we going to come back in this hockey game? Like, I think there's a path to crushing Dallas's spirits in this hockey game.
Yeah, you need to put that the moment of doubt in their minds, especially those guys that have struggled this so far in the playoffs. Like, if they can, I don't want to put this into the world, but I will. If they have a good chance and Stu robs them, or like they're able to have good periods and all of a sudden there's no result from it, then yeah, you're right. That is going to, we talked about it. Like, momentum doesn't carry game to game, but confidence certainly does.
Yep.
And the Dallas team, a lot of them don't have much confidence right now. And the Oilers have a great opportunity to start this game to end it. And I know they came back in the third period. It's just that's so different now. Yeah. That's game 1 versus a night where you can eliminate the Dallas Stars and move on to a Stanley Cup Final. Totally. Won't happen again.
Let's get to some game notes here for our friends over at Budweiser. Budweiser has been brewed in Edmonton for 45 years, and by partnering with Mark Messier, a proud Edmonton product on this limited edition can, they are ready to reignite that City of Champions spirit and put it on display for the entire hockey world. During the brewing process, Budweiser even brought one of the original City of Champions signs back into the brewery. It serves as a symbol of what this city stands for and how good it can be come playoff time when we all come together. So, Pat, throw me back up. Look at this bad boy. The City of Champions can. Find it at a liquor store near you or break into our office and steal the case.
Doors literally always unlocked.
I got to sneeze.
We'll wait.
Thanks, buddy. My seasonal allergies are killing me because it's so hot in my house that I have to sleep with the window open. I don't have AC. My house is too old.
I haven't turned on my AC yet. I've mastered the keeping your house cool strategy.
Oh?
It's a simple thing. So leave I'm a bit of a benefit of this as well. Leave your windows open at night. All of them. Not downstairs, obviously, for obvious reasons. Upstairs windows open all night.
You would hate for an animal to get in or something.
Of course. You don't want any raccoons creeping in. Nope. All of a sudden you're getting spooked while you're sleeping. Leave them all open. Get a couple of fans blowing, get things swirling around. You could even turn on your furnace fan. Okay. If you're feeling a little crazy, that'll help things. But then when you wake up in the morning, close all those blinds, close all those windows. All of a sudden, the cooling is in. I have a benefit, though, too, because my backyard gets shaded really nice in the morning. Open the patio door, open the windows downstairs.
Patio door.
All of a sudden, the cool air is in there, buddy. Right. We're living the vida loca. You know, in Sherwood Park.
I wish I had a patio door I could just slide open.
You don't have a patio door? You got a back door?
I got a back door, but no patio element to it. Maybe that's actually a good idea. Maybe it's something I should invest in.
Patio doors, I never had one before.
Get the magic mesh?
Yeah, I do have the magic mesh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're fancy.
They're pretty good.
All right. Alberta Jason, I just leave my fridge open.
It's not a bad idea. Just turn off the sound. Do you ever get that when you open your fridge or freezer? It's like ding, 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 ding.
Well,
just go in the basement.
That's been game notes for Budweiser.
You're welcome.
You had the numbers on Jake Ottinger and where they're beating them. The Edmonton Oilers, I mean, you look at the side-by-side comp board, 16-8 are the goals. And that's including the fact that Dallas won by 3 games at one point in this hockey game. Like, the power play for Edmonton, humming, 5 for 14. The penalty kill, not that good, but it's better than the penalty kill on the other side. So there's just so many areas where the Oilers are showing that they're the better team. And you look at their 3 different wins, right? Go back game 2. That's just a really, really solid bounce back effort. But they've won games with Stuart Skinner standing on his head. They've won games with their depth scoring. They've won games with nothing but their power play and Stuart Skinner. Like, they can win games in different ways. This ties into a take I have about the Carolina Hurricanes later. But it really does tie in to the Dallas Stars as well, where, like, I really think their only path to winning a hockey game is getting a red-hot Jake Ottinger and a red-hot power play. Because I don't think they can keep up with this Oilers team and outplay them at 60 minutes at a big enough disparity to win the hockey game just on that alone.
I would completely agree, and I think you could argue that they got one half of that last game.
Yeah.
Like, the power play sucked, obviously, but, like, I did get a goal. Jake Ottinger, I thought, had his best game of the series last time around, but the Oilers were still able to beat him on a Draisaitl goal that wasn't that good.
Yeah.
You know, and what was the other one? More of the penalty kill issue, I guess, with the Perry one. But, yeah, it's going to be a trick tonight. You would imagine Jake Ottinger has a strong game. He has no choice but to play well. But, yeah, looking at the numbers, Pat, did you manage to get... I emailed it to Aaron. So, no? Oh, okay. Email it to Pat. I'll email it to Pat. But there was a breakdown of where Jake Ottinger is getting beat quite a bit in this series. So over his high glove, he's 67% in the series. The others scored 3 goals on 9 shots on him. Now, this is the crazy one. We like to discuss this. Dominant eye.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. He is getting cooked on his left side. He is 0 for 1. Right side, 1 for 1. Not a coincidence.
Definitely not.
Low glove, which we talked about before the series, has been a bit of a place where he had struggled. He is 75%. The Oilers have scored 3 goals on him there in 12 shots.
So they've been shooting there.
Yeah, they have. His glove side seems to be a place they're trying to get to. Also, what would you call that? High blocker, I guess, with the stick. They are 77%. He's 77% there. The Oilers have scored 3 goals on him there too. So down low, Ottinger is actually like pretty good with his legs. He has only allowed 2 goals in the series, 1 5-hole, 1 over his left pad. But yeah, they're really going after that glove.
Let's do a little on-the-fly game notes. Oilers when they're up 3-1 in a series. Did they finish off the Golden Knights' first chance they got?
Yes,
Let's
1-0.
Let's go back to last year when they were up. Wouldn't have been when they were up 3-1 on the LA Kings. Did they finish them off first chance they got?
Yeah, we were there.
Let's go back to the year before. When they were up 3-1 on the Calgary Flames in 2022, did they finish it off first chance they got?
They did.
Interesting.
Tight. They're going to be tight. They were tight games. A lot of goals in the Calgary one. And
overtime, and the LA one was
6-4 final with an empty net, I think.
But that was the one where off the camera hole and shit, right?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of this year.
Yeah, you're thinking of this year. Yeah.
Yes. Wasn't actually that close. Should have probably been a 3-1 game.
But a couple of close games in there. Yeah. And again, I see a lot of you saying it's over. Like Rob says, it's over tonight, and I think it won't be close. It'll be like 5-1. I'm not willing to go that far. I think it'll be tight.
It's hard to eliminate a team, as cliche as it sounds.
And Dallas has been here 100 times. They got a good veteran coach. Like, I don't see the Dallas Stars just sitting there and being like, again, you can walk them to that path.
Yeah.
You can dominate them early, get up 3-0, and have them be like, son of a bitch. But out of the gates, Dallas isn't just going to roll over in this hockey game.
No, you got to be ready for them, and also like, if they get the first goal, don't fret, which they won't. It's Oilers are a very experienced team. They know what to do. I love what Louis said yesterday too when he was looking at the Oilers bench and he asked Darnell Nurse about it, and they're just cool and calm, ready to go out for the next shift and put it together and see what happens. They're not too high, they're not too low, and I think that shows how strong this group is right now.
All right. What else did I want? Oh, there's a couple of quotes I want to talk about. One that I don't think is a big deal, one that I think is. Okay. Thomas Harley on Zach Hyman missing the rest of the season. Harley said he's a great player. I'm happy he's not playing. Injuries suck, but he's a good player, and when he's not on their team, they're a little bit worse. People are like, he's giving him bulletin board. I see no. That's
what do you want him to say?
I miss him. Like, yeah.
Yeah. God, I wish he was here slamming me into
he
the
literally
boards
says
again.
he literally says injuries suck.
And
then
also
he compliments him.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's not playing because they are down 3-1 in the series.
Yep.
And he makes it a little bit weaker. I agree. It's
no problem with that quote. I totally understand where he's coming from.
I'm curious
Pete DeBoer.
Here we go. What did
quote,
he have to say?
We're close. Listen, give them credit. They're up 3-1. They found a way. This series could be 2-2 pretty easily too. Pete, it could also be over very easily.
Yeah, it could have been a sweep.
This shit probably, and if you're going to talk about probability here, this series leans way more to probably should have been a sweep versus probably should be tied up at 2. Hasn't even been an OT game yet.
No, there's not been an OT game. He was had some quotes that he was upset about seeing Bouchard on the rope hint slash into.
Womp womp.
And what did he say? It was something along the lines of like, you just see that stuff in junior. It's like Zach Lang, I think, put out a great video the other day of when the Oilers played Calgary, and they were just slashing every time they got at Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
It's the game,
And
man.
we didn't like it, but it's the playoffs.
It is what it is. Like, I think some people need to grow up. Like, the Harley stuff is not even a bad quote.
Yeah.
The Pete DeBoer stuff, he's someone for me that needs to probably grow up a little bit. He spoke too much in this series. I think he's made himself too...
Much of a story?
Yeah, like, you're the coach.
Yep.
Like, Knobloch, I can't think of, like, one controversial quote Knobloch has had. Because he's an extremely level-headed guy.
Yeah. Maynard says he's grasping at straws. Yes. People saying the Harley thing got taken out of context. I would buy that totally. Yeah, 91 pulp. If any athlete says the exact same thing, or any athlete says the exact same thing, if that offends someone, the person's oversensitive. Totally. I have no problem with what Harley said. And yeah, Ryan, it's actually a pretty nice quote. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it is.
All right. The baby. And I'm the baby. Anyways.
Is there someone called the baby in the chat?
No, someone was going to call DeBoer the baby.
Oh. Yeah, he's been, I don't know. He's an interesting coach. I think he's good, but I'll save this quote for tomorrow. Actually.
All right.
Go ahead.
Good call. Idiot Calgary didn't even know what leg to target. I do remember that
is
too.
true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
If I were to go to as many conference finals as Peter DeBoer has, I'd be mad too. Sure. Hasn't gotten over the hump.
He's been
3
to
straight.
one final, I think.
Yeah.
San Jose?
Against Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
they
lost 4-1, I think.
And that was the year, remember, they got bailed out with that 5-minute major against the Golden Knights?
Oh, yeah, it was.
That was
Which
crazy.
changed the league, and rightfully so. That was
Yeah.
actually something that worked well with review.
All right, I got another quote, but I want to make it my one big take for our friends at Boston Pizza, proud partner of all of our playoff coverage. If we plan it, we will win it. So let's apply that energy to tonight with our friends at Boston Pizza. Start thinking, what am I doing for the game? What am I eating? How am I going to feel when the Edmonton Oilers stand around the Clarence Campbell Bowl for a second straight season? Manifest it. Believe. Because there's only one team left that can end the 32-year drought in Canada, and they're right here in Edmonton. This year, we bring it home. Shout out to Boston Pizza. I went for wings last night.
Oh, yeah? What could you get?
I got the Buffalo Ranch wings. They're so good.
Nice.
And then I dip them in even more ranch. Oh, it's amazing. And I got some cactus cuts.
Buffalo Ranch
And
wings.
a Bud Light, biggest one they got.
Budweiser.
A Budweiser. Okay. Oh, my bank's calling me. I wonder what that could be
Oh,
about.
that's good.
I'm very busy, though, right now. Sorry, bank. I wonder if someone has hacked my bank.
Let's hope not.
Eee. Okay. What do we got going on here? One big take for Boston Pizza. I love Jeff Skinner's quote today. So he did confirm in his media availability that he's in the lineup tonight and he's going to play. Okay. So we can probably end our poll. 63% of you said you would like to see the Oilers, or you're happy the Oilers are going 12-6. 37% said 11-7. But here's what Jeff Skinner said. And I think this is a really kind of nice, refreshing quote and a good reminder of what he's here for. He said, you know, and this is from the Spectre tweet where Spectre says, look, we all know Jeff Skinner wasn't supposed to be a playoff scratch when he signed here on July 1, but Skinner said, quote, you want to be on a good team? That's part of it.
There you go.
You wanted to be on a winner? You wanted to not be in a losing culture? You wanted to be in a locker room that's fired up and going on a deep run? Sometimes you got to sit. And I love this so much more than I love the Victor Arvidsson quote from the other day.
Thinking the same thing.
It's such a contrast, right? Where you're sitting there and you have Arvidsson talking about how I played fine when they took me out. I was playing good these whole playoffs. Pissed off that he had to sit. And sure, for some guys, like it's whatever floats your boat. If that's how Victor Arvidsson needs to motivate himself, sure. But I also really didn't see a guy that came out and showed an extra gear. He was just the same old Victor Arvidsson when they put him in the lineup. And again, there's one guy who said, I'm going to ride this out and I'm going to stay here. There's one guy who asked for a trade at the deadline. Jeff Skinner didn't ask for a trade at the deadline.
He did not.
So, I don't know, man. I really, really like this from Jeff Skinner. As much as I'll sit here and say 11-7 is better, I'm not sure. I maybe even would have preferred Noah Philp because you want a penalty killer, all of that. On a personal, take any analysis part out of my brain, I'm very, very excited to see him play again tonight. I love the story of Jeff Skinner. I love he finally got a playoff game. It sucks he had to sit, but as he said, you want to be on a good team, that's part of it.
Yeah, and like you said, too, it shows where he's at with all of this. And we spoke about it the other day, and we've obviously had some reassurance with what Stetcher said. It's just like, this team's very selfless.
Mm-hmm.
They are here for one goal.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows it. Everyone just wants their name on that Stanley Cup. And I think guys, obviously everyone wants to play, but if you play 5 minutes or you play every single minute, like it doesn't matter. There is one objective, and you push each other in practice. You push each other when you're playing, and you get the best out of one another. And I think it's shown so far in this playoffs of where this team is at mentally. And I'm excited to see him play tonight. I think he's going to have an impact.
Me too. No suspicious activity on my bank. I don't know why they're calling me.
Jeff Skinner is currently plus. Oh, he's not even up yet. Oh, there he is, plus 900 to get a goal tonight. Hello.
Oh, on that note,
this cannot be correct. Oh, I'm in a parlay.
Oh, you're in the same
I was
game.
going to say, how is Evander Kane plus 1,100?
So Jeff's
325.
plus Skinner?
Yeah.
All right. Not as juicy. Let's talk about it a little bit more for our friends at Bet365, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs, from game props, totals, money line, futures bets, Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Stanley Cup winner. You can find it all at Bet365. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus. Bet365 is an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Liam, we have an update on my Stuart Skinner Conn Smythe bet.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
Yesterday, 12 coffees. I had a $24 cash out.
Yeah.
I wake up this morning, $8 cash out. Back down to only 4 coffees.
So what happened? Someone on Florida must have climbed up the board.
In the last 2 hours, up to 6.5 coffees.
Whoa. Whoa.
So up to 1332 on the Stu Skinner Conn Smythe cash out.
Florida became the odds-on favorites now, by the way, to win the Stanley Cup.
Minus 120, Edmonton sitting at plus 110. If you believe in the Oilers and you want to bet on them, this is probably the best price you're going to get.
So, yeah, I think what happened was Sam Bennett climbed up, and Bobrovsky and Barkov's numbers got a little bit cleaner, too. Maybe
they
Bobrovsky.
Did. That is correct. And I think Verhaeghe pushed himself a little bit into the conversation, too. But if the Oilers win tonight on the back of a strong Stuart Skinner performance, like he's 30-1 right now. If they win tonight on the back of a Stuart Skinner performance, and let's say, I'll give you a twofer here. Oilers win, Skinner plays great, Leon Draisaitl doesn't score.
Okay.
Draisaitl right now is plus 750. I think Stu's plus 750 after tonight.
I think he'll replace Rantanen at 1,800.
18? Oh, man. Getting a chance to have the starting goalie on a hot streak at the start of the Cup final at 18-1 would be crazy. Having him right now 30-1, I still think is a good bet. 10 would pay 310.
5 would pay 155.
That would be half of 310, yes. All right. We got to move. We get to boot someone from the chat. Yeah.
Oh, anonymous.
Banned forever.
Oh, you didn't even ban him.
Oh, no, I just removed his comment. Hide user on this channel. Enjoy
Doug.
I'm glad he got his 12 stupid comments. And
people are weird.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Like
it comes with the territory.
We talk about this sometimes. Like we've all watched live shows. I would never go into a live chat and be like, "Yo, these are the best team ever."
Oh, that's because you're a normal person. Yeah, you're not like generally insane. Remember the old days when we used to be like, "I wonder if we'll get 100 people watching the show live."
Those were the days.
A lot more than that.
Yeah, we do get a lot more than that now.
Yeah, we do.
It's good.
It's because we have fun.
Go back and watch episode 1.
No one else is doing somersaults through the through their doorway.
No one is doing that.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to go and watch the first episode of this show. I did it from my old townhouse.
Yeah.
You did it from, I think,
my
your
home.
studio. And our first guest, you remember?
Mike McKenna.
Mike McKenna.
I miss Mike McKenna.
Yeah, I wonder how his liquor store's going.
Macadoodles. If you're ever in the St. Louis area, check it out.
There you go.
We do love Mike. Okay, betting talk. Bet365 Game Day Betting Challenge. I'm out of the basement. Let's go. 2-10. I've hit a couple of plus 500 bangers. I'm only down 0.75 units. Jay continues to just bet money line. I'm okay with that. I'll catch him bit by bit. Why did this guy text me?
Drip by drip. Mike McKenna just text you?
No.
Whoa.
Why is a hockey Hall of Famer texting me out of the blue? I got to check that.
What did he say? I'll do this.
All right, you do it.
I hit my bet last game. It was McDavid, 2 points, over 3.5 team total for the Oilers, and Oilers to win. That was plus 210. Tyler also hit his bet, which was essentially the same, but he had a Draisaitl goal in. Jay hit his bet, which was money line. Pat, can we bring up my bet? It's exactly the same as what I did last time. Oilers money line, McDavid 2+ points, over 3.5 goals for the Edmonton Oilers, plus 325. Jay's bet. Jay went on the money line, plus 115 for the Edmonton Oilers. Tyler's bet. Evander Kane 3+ shots. Ryan Nugent Hopkins 1 point. Edmonton Oilers to win plus 500. Let us know what you're betting in the chat tonight. A win for me would pull me into the pluses on the units. So pretty incredible stuff. You need me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, boy. Okay. Pat, any bets?
No, I've been telling Aaron on the pre and post game show that I refuse to bet on these games because I'm often very unlucky when I bet the Oilers lose. So I'm kind of doing my thing by staying away from it.
That's a good call.
Everyone's got their thing, right?
Okay, let's go into... Did we do playoffs? Playoff report? Playoff coverage?
I didn't give my bet tonight. I'll give my bet.
We did. I just read it.
Okay, great. Giddy up. Giddy up. We could do, we did our playoff, or we did our BPs thing, so we're good on that. What did you make of Panthers Canes ending in 5 games?
I think the Panthers are obviously a good team. I think Carolina, once again, what are you doing?
Do we have so there was drama after the game. Paul Maurice he's decided this year that coaches should no longer go in the handshake line.
Because they once didn't.
Because at some point 25 years ago, they didn't.
Yeah.
So now he's telling the other team's coaches, don't go shake my players' hands. Mm-hmm. Here's his explanation after. We can just listen to it and give our take.
I don't believe that the coaches should shake players' hands at the end. There's this long list of people in suits and tracksuits. We had like 400 people on the ice. They're all really important to our group, but not one of them was in the game. There's something for me visually with the camera on of just the men who played, who blocked shots, who fought for each other. It's the end of one season. It's excitement for the other. The last thing that a player on the Carolina Hurricanes deserves is 50 more guys in suits they have. They have no idea who they are, and that's not a negative. There should be something really kind of beautiful about just the camera on those men who played shaking hands, and we should respect that.
They know who you are. You're the coach, and you used to coach in Carolina.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the coach in 06? Is that right? Or was he not? Was he the coach after?
He was coach there, yeah.
When they beat the Oilers.
Was he? No.
Was he there after? Either way, it's just...
Yeah, he was there after.
He made it seem like the executives come down, everything like that. It's like the head coach and he's like 2 or 3 assistant coaches. And that's all it is. Half the players don't even know each other.
It was Pierre Laviolette in 06. That's what I'm thinking of. Maurice was there a little before, and I think a little after as well. He had a couple of stints. Frank did say today. So, there was Pat, we can just run it without the sound, but, the two of them on the ice after the game, Frank kind of said, when Maurice was the coach, there's maybe him and Brindamore didn't really get along all that well. So that might be part of this. And also, if you're Rod Brindamore, your team just lost, and you're now being told don't go shake their hands. You have no choice but to be okay, but it might look bad for them. So it's fine that Maurice cleared it up. I don't have a problem with coaches shaking players' hands. I think it's fine. I also don't really like that Paul Maurice is coming out all of a sudden this year with this holier than thou, look how smart I am and all of this. I don't know, man. It's a little bit much. It's a little much for me.
I just don't think it really matters. I never thought about this at all. So did Brindamore not shake Florida's hands? Or did he get in the line?
Yeah, he didn't shake their hands.
Oh, so weird.
I know. It's just weird. At the end of the day, small thing, doesn't matter. But if the Edmonton Oilers beat them in the Stanley Cup Final, I would want Chris Knobloch in the handshake line.
Yeah, me
why
too.
wouldn't he be?
I just think, especially in the final,
weird.
it's very respectful.
I know. Devon says, who gives an F? It's a handshake. Yeah, fine. But again, Paul Maurice, who are you to be it's been done this way for 28 years and no more because I say so.
Yeah, just because I think he knows he's going to get that far, that he can try and make an impact on this stuff. Yeah. It's just buddy, it's just weird.
It's weird. Know. All right. It's a Sherwood 4 Giant game day. Let's give our keys to victory for our friends over at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, right in the heart of Sherwood Park. It is boat season, it is outdoor season, and their service department is here to make sure everything is up to snuff so you can get out there with no issues this summer. And maybe if you want to pick yourself up, new boat, new ATV, new side-by-side, new motorcycle, they do it all over at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Liam, what's the key to victory for tonight?
It's got to be special teams again for me. That was obviously what won you the series last time around too. So, yeah, you got to go out there and win the special teams battle because I think you can beat them at 5-5.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say get a 2-goal lead.
Okay.
Is that too obvious?
No.
I mean, like, I feel like if you get up by 2 here, you showed last year in the third period that it's just like you're the type of team, and you showed it against Vegas. You showed it against LA at points. The Edmonton Oilers are a team that can just foot down. That was me putting my foot down, everybody. Put your foot down and the hockey game. So I'm going to say get a lead early. If you get a power play, need to be opportunistic, all of that stuff. But get an early lead. You don't want to play from behind tonight. You don't want Dallas to feel like they have any sort of momentum, and then they're going in and doing the whole dragging back to Texas thing, and it's like, whoa, wrap this thing up.
Yeah, because they've been chirping our city.
They have been, and I don't like it.
No, I'm out on it.
I don't like it. All right, we got to wrap this up. I'm going to do the sheet with Jeff Merrick. So if you want to hear more from me, I'll be over there in about 10 minutes time. But yeah, giddy up. Pre and post game tonight. Doobie and who? Maybe Aaron will be ready.
Maybe Aaron. Hopefully
Maybe he won't. We'll find out later on. All right. Great stuff today. The trio of producers behind the scenes who helped us do the show today.
Thanks,
Pat,
guys.
Brett, Reese, you guys did a really good job stepping up on a game day here. Everybody in the chat, tremendous stuff. Doobie, great. Go listen to the new episode of Ask Dubnyk. And go head over to the sheet. Watch me over with Jeff Merrick. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show. Enjoy Game 5. Enjoy a potential second straight Western Conference Final win. And we'll chat with you again tomorrow at noon Mountain. Oil up!